Hi guys, MrRoflWaffles here. Over the last couple of months, I've shown you multiple things in the Shadows of Evil trailer that have gone unnoticed by the community. Today, I have yet another one of those things. This is becoming a running theme, isn't it? We've talked in the past about one of the Gumball special effects, namely that you can clone yourself. A video about that is in the description, and also about a poster that is extremely relevant to the zombies storyline. But today, we're going to be getting a bit more abstract. As always, like the video right now, buckle up, and we can get down to business. As is usually the case when I make these videos, I need to provide you guys with some preliminary information in order for you to fully understand exactly what I am talking about. So let's do that. A couple of months ago, Treyarch gave us the Back in Black teaser trailer. That trailer is going to be played in full now.
This should help you remember everything.
The numbers, Mason. What do they mean?
Everything you know is wrong.
Your life will be consumed by absolute loss. He doesn't need his own weapons. He's got ours.
They'll always need men like us.
Our greatest barrier is our own fear. Our own doubts. The only thing holding us back is how far we are willing to go.
Now then, that trailer contains lots of cool stuff, don't get me wrong, it is packed with information, but today we're going to focus on one specific segment. You guys have already seen me talking about it on my channel. It's this piece of text. Well, actually, to be honest, we don't know if this is text, we don't know if these are letters or symbols or something else entirely. It could be a spell for all we know. I don't know what it is. Nobody does just yet. But we've seen it multiple times, right? That's what I'm getting at here. You can, for example, see it on this box here. You've got the Only the Cursed Survive logo eye claw thing in the center, but then at the top and at the bottom of the lid, you can see, again, this same string of characters. You guys get the picture. This string of characters is around the map, it's around the marketing materials, and we don't really know why. Bit of a mystery. Now let's change the subject entirely and talk about sigils. On your screen right now, you can see the seal from Simon's Necronomicon, which is the sigil of the gateway in the Cthulhu mythos, although people would argue that it's not actually from the Cthulhu mythos because it's from Simon's Necronomicon. I think you guys get the picture. This is the sigil of the gateway. In the past, in Call of Duty Zombies, we've seen things like the sigil of Baphomet, which is on the screen now, and just generally, Treyarch loves using imagery like this. The reason I bring it up is because in Shadows of Evil, despite the fact that we hardly have seen the map so far, we've still spotted sigils all over the place. Yeah, I'm not kidding. I made a video, like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, a couple of weeks ago, talking about the clones in Shadows. There's a Gumball ability that allows you to clone yourself. Go watch the video if you haven't watched it already. But in that video, you can see on the floor where the detective, that character, Jack Vincent, is standing, there is a sigil. There's this seal in blood, painted, or rather bled, I guess, if it's in blood, on the floor. Now, I want us to take a good, hard look at this thing together, because there are a couple of details that we can make out if we look extremely carefully. Starting with the fact that there are two rings. That's pretty straightforward. Then, in the bottom right, you can see that there is a smaller circle within those two rings. So there's the outer ring, the inner ring, and then there's a circle between those two. Going further still, we can say that in the very center of the seal, of the sigil, you can see that there is some blood on what looks like bits of newspaper or something like that, but it's kind of hard to make out exactly what that is in the middle there. Who knows? For now, it's going to be explained later on, but for now we're going to leave that up to interpretation. Who knows what that could be? Keep watching and you'll find out. I'm not done yet. There's one more thing in this image that I think you guys need to take a look at. And it's super difficult to see, but bear with me, you'll manage. Look at this. Now keep looking at this. Now keep looking. What do you see? Is that... Could that possibly be the cuneiform that I was mentioning earlier on? That secret string of characters? That ambiguous line of text? Could it be? While you have a think about that, let's have a look at some of the other sigils in the trailer. The main seal that probably springs to mind is this one here. It's pretty damn clear. on the floor around this altar, table, ritual, summoning desk type thing, we've got a sigil painted in what might not be blood this time, looks more like fluorescent paint, but regardless of the liquid they chose to paint this damn thing on the floor, I think we can agree that there are a lot of symbols around the outside between the outer and inner rings, like I said with the previous sigil, in the design of this particular seal. But you guys at this point are probably wondering what the hell I'm going to show you that is new. I've shown you the fact that it looks like there might be some blood marks around the outside between the outer and inner rings like I just mentioned in the other sigil, but can I go anywhere with this? Am I really shooting into the dark right now? Have I run out of video ideas? Mark my words, I haven't. This is where things get interesting. Let me ask you a question. Did you spot this sigil here in this shot? If you did, congratulations, it's super easy to miss, and I haven't seen any discussion of it, which saddens me. If we look in the center of this particular sigil, we can again see some blood. This blood is a little more clear, just a bit, and by more clear, I mean clearer than what we could see in the original shot with the newspaper and the blood in the center of that sigil. However, to be on the safe side, for now, we'll say, yep, it's too blurry, still can't quite make out what that center image is. You can also see some symbols between the outer and inner rings, just like with the previous one, but in this particular shot, it's so hard to make out what they are because it's so damn blurry, I've zoomed in so much, that for now, I won't exactly be saying, this is definitely the cuneiform or anything along those lines, but it could well be. And I want you guys to watch this little excerpt from the trailer. If you guys were paying as much attention just then as I hope you were, you'll have noticed not just one, but two different sigils, and these ones are pretty damn clear, which is the exciting thing. I'm going to play that same segment of the trailer again, but this time we're going to be zooming in on the bottom left-hand corner. And it's frozen now because at this point, we've already actually missed it. It's that damn quick. I'm going to reverse a couple of frames, and you'll see the sigil is there, and not only is it there, but you can see the symbol in the center pretty damn clearly. What I've been hesitant to say through this whole video is that to me, this really looks like that one symbol from the cuneiform that kind of resembles the Templar cross a little bit. In my mind, it just looks so damn similar, and then we combine that with the fact that in the previous shots it still looked like that same symbol, despite the fact that the other shots were more blurry, and then on top of that, we have the fact that in that one sigil you can see what looks like more cuneiform characters, as we see in the cuneiform strings on the walls and in the marketing materials. It's just too much of a happy coincidence for me to pass up, and I honestly think that that is what we're seeing in the sigil. Now, I'm not finished yet. Oh my goodness, voice break ahoy. I'm not done yet, guys. Like I said, there were two sigils in that little sequence I played. Let's move on to the next one, and then I'll talk about what this might mean in terms of the actual sigil itself and what the final takeaway from this should be. So we're zooming into the bottom right this time rather than the bottom left, and there you go. In this shot here, we see clear as day those cuneiform marks. Just absorb that background music, watch that monster dance, and, well, let's have a little think very briefly about what this could actually mean. In overview, Shadows of Evil is a Cthulhu mythos-inspired take on an imaginary American city set in the 1940s. The map features multiple things that seem a little out of time and out of space. We've got things that I've already mentioned, such as the specialist abilities, and new things such as these sigils. A sigil is an inscription that is supposedly imbued with some kind of magical properties, and in this case, they are notated with the cuneiform text that we've seen in multiple places, both inside the game and out. The cuneiform itself is probably most prominent on the walls of the map. We see it glowing, pulsating as we play, and we don't know why it's there. That is the general consensus that I have to provide to you right now, because no one has found a better explanation than that. We don't know what this Sumerian-looking text says. We can draw links till the cows come home about the Cthulhu mythos that I've mentioned, and the Mad Arab, the fact that this is Sumerian-looking text, it's cuneiform, or at least it's derived from it, but what exactly that text will translate or perhaps decode to in the final game, we do not know. Whether it even will or not, we do not know. Is it a magical inscription? Is it tied to the satanic ritual that we seem to see going on in the trailer itself? Or perhaps it has an even darker meaning. Will we have it explained in shadows, or will Treyarch leave us hanging for months and months until we get to DLC 3 or 4 before we finally have an explanation? These are all questions that I intend to answer on my channel in the coming days, weeks, and months, so if you're not subscribed, you are officially a watermelon. If you have any questions about any of this, I want to see them in the comments, and obviously if you haven't clicked the like button so far, then you're a watermelon seed, goddammit! I've been MrRoflWaffles, thanks for watching as always guys, and I'll see you next time.